Journeys is recorded at Doghouse Studios. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube to keep the conversation going. Remember, if you like the content, like the content. Hello, today is Tuesday, April 12th. I'm Chad Jones, and welcome back to Journeys. So, continuing off with our topic from yesterday, purpose, I was kind of thinking about art in a very abstract sense. I was thinking about art and purpose and connecting the two. Mostly, I guess what I was thinking of is that there's like a painting that I made that I don't really see a point in, and everyone I show is like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, oh, it's crosses. It's just crosses. It doesn't look great. I'll post a picture on my story after. But it was more or less like a practice technique, and the reason that it existed was so I could practice doing certain strokes, practice my brush strokes, and really just like make a painting to make a painting. That was the purpose of it. That I ended up liking it based on the color and the context and just all of it. It just looked good. It looked very clean to me. I really liked it. But everybody I showed was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. And for me, I was like, okay, yeah, like I was really excited, not because of the final product, but because of how I got there and what I was doing about it. And I think that was kind of the purpose of it. The purpose of this painting was to just do something for practice sake. And I think it's funny that purpose can mean something to somebody so dearly, and the purpose of the reason why you're doing something can mean something so dearly to someone, and then to somebody else mean absolutely nothing. And it really occurred to me that purpose is a very subjective thing. Not only is it a subjective thing, very subjective, but it's a very personalized thing. And what I kind of want to go with the conversation with that is that you can have a purpose in your life and it actually mean nothing. That's kind of what I think I'm getting at here. Like, you could have a purpose, but it could mean nothing to everybody else but you. And that purpose, actually, I was doing some research, actually trying to do my job for once, and I found 5 ways to find your purpose, but that'll be covered in the second half of today's episode. The first half, I kind of want to establish, like, sometimes the purpose of something is it comes from nothing to be something. And weirdly enough, you could relate that back to human life, where sometimes human lives and humans are just born to exist. They're just made to be loved by family. Sometimes they're just made by accident. Sometimes they're made and they're treated out of spite. But regardless, that life and the purpose of that life, to kind of talk about what how Rob had commented about hoping that everyone could just maybe not necessarily find their own purpose, but if they could live their life in such a way that they had allotted themselves a life to live, the life they want to live. I think that was kind of it, and that could be the only purpose that they have. But I mean, I guess in this case, meaning and purpose mean two different things, and I mean, in this case, for Rob, let me read Rob's comment. I think all humans should have the same purpose, and that purpose should be to live a full life and live a life in a way that you can look back on and be happy and content for. For someone who is an activist, saving the planet isn't their purpose. Their purpose is to live the life the way they feel best, and the way they feel best, feel their time is best spent is saving the planet. Now, I would say that it's kind of like I kind of agree and I kind of disagree, especially with this point that their purpose is to just live life the way they want. Again, I think it's a very subjective thing. Their purpose could be to live the life in which they want to live, to be an activist. But in another way, maybe they see their purpose and they interpret their purpose as I am saving the planet. And in saving the planet, I'm not living the life I could be living, but it's the life I want to live. And I think that's kind of a different outlook. One is like an outer purpose and an inner purpose, or a reactionary purpose, like I want to live the life in which I want to live, and my life is to be an activist, or it's a results-based or a consequence-based life. I'm an activist. That's my purpose is to, stand in front, like chain myself to trees, and I'm not living my life that I could be living, or the life that would be easy. I'm living this life because this is what I'm put on the planet for. This is my meaning. And I think that's kind of like two different ways of viewing it. And I mean, it's funny because I think that both Amanda and Rob, and I am going to Amanda's comment after this, because this is what I want the conversation to be about, is I want to be able to respond and say, hey, like, you guys have very good points. But how do I phrase this? I agree and disagree with Rob. I think you can have meaning in your life, and that meaning can be one thing, and then moving past that meaning into what your purpose is. I think what Rob is saying is, I think not necessarily what the purpose is, but I think how people should live their life is they should have the freedom to choose their purpose, the freedom to find what they want. And obviously, it's not exactly a two-way conversation here. Rob can't really respond, but that's how I kind of interpreted the comment. Moving on to Amanda, where she says here, quote, I don't feel like I have a purpose, nor do I feel any sort of need to have one. I'm really looking forward to hearing Jesus Christ, I can't read. What purpose means to others. Jeez, I cannot read. Now, I know Amanda. She's been on the show. It's very nice to have her on the show. Or it was nice to have her on the show. But I also know she's an artist, and I know that for her life is constantly creating things. She's very artistic, not just in like a mechanical sense. Like if you look at her paintings, you're like, holy shit, she's really good at this. Like this is her purpose. But I don't think that's true. I think it's a lot of practice. I think Amanda has put an immense amount of practice and love and time into it. And maybe she doesn't look at it like, oh, this is my purpose to be here. I think like how I interpret it is, I'm still here because I'm still here and I want to still be here. And there's no purpose that drives me. This is like an intrinsic thing. It's like almost like religion guiding your moral compass, where, and again, I'm reading into these. Guys, comment, subscribe, see if I'm missing something or if I'm misinterpreting things, because like I said, I do want this to be a conversation back and forth. I think Amanda at the end actually asks a very important question, which I'm going to answer in the second half of this. I would like to ask, or quote, I would like to ask anyone why they feel they need purpose, or why is it important to them? And that's going to be my question for the day, is why do you feel like you need a purpose? And is it important to you or not? But I'm going to answer this in the second half, actually. And I'm going to give you a very gray answer, a very muddled, confused answer, but we'll get out of it. It'll be okay. And yeah, I'm very excited. Guys, this is what I need. I need more questions being addressed, not only to me, but to everybody in the comment section, everybody out there. I know that the views are going to get there because I know people watch and view in different times, in different ways. It's crazy, it's nuts, but hey, it's what it is. It's great that you guys are watching it all, listening it all. I love it. But for now, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to think on Amanda's question, and I will be back to talk to you in a sec. So why do I feel like I need a purpose? Why do I feel like I need a purpose? Well, the way I look at purpose is not necessarily like you can have a purpose in a small scale, in a large scale, in a short term, long term. For example, you going to work every day, your purpose is to go to work every day. That is just how it is. And you don't have a, like, outside of that short term, go to work every day purpose. That is just kind of your purpose at that moment. That is your purpose at that time, that purpose in that way. So that could be your small, like your short or your small immediate purpose. But your longer purpose could be something completely different, completely abstract, something that you do just for you outside of the confines of, say, work. Now, what do I mean by this? What do I mean by all of this? And it kind of sounds confusing. Well, like, for me, what purpose is just a direction of things. If I'm making a painting, well, what's the point of this painting? Is this painting to be hung on the wall? Is this painting to be learned? Is this just a painting for fun? All of those things can be the painting's purpose. And again, I'm extrapolating my own feelings on myself to the creation of something. Same with a song. If I write a song, what's the purpose of the song? Is the song to be, is it to be for someone else? Is it to be for me? Is it something that I want to write to make something artistic? Is it a challenge? So on, so forth, continuing on. And I think that there's a lot of, there's a lot of confusion with your own purpose. And I watched this video, this TED Talk. I watched a TED Talk for this. So I can feel important and fancy and smart. So I watched this TED Talk, and this guy said, to find your purpose, you need to answer 5 questions. I'm going to tell you these 5 questions. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for? What the people want or need that you're doing it for, and what they get out of it. And what this does is it really directs, it really refines 2 questions for yourself. Who are you? And what do you do? And whether that's work, whether that's support, whether that's just loving, caring, natured, whether that's making art or slaying dragons for all you dragon slayers out there. Yeah, that's just the 2 questions that are directed at you. But the other 3 questions, very interesting, are for somebody else. Who do you do it for? Whom do you do it for? And that question really is like, so for example, I'll answer, I am Chad Jones. I am a driver, but I'm also a creative. Just umbrella that all. And who do I do this for? Well, I do this for my family. I do this for my wife. I do this for my kids. I do this for my dog and my cats. And what do they want or need? Well, they need a house, they need food, and then they want to be loved and taken care of. So for me, what that means is I have myself, I have my aim, and I have the people that wants or needs. So my purpose already, you can see a direction in where it's going. Second, those are kind of the 4 first questions, and then lastly, what do they get out of it? What do they get out of what I do? And that kind of summarizes it all. So I have 2 questions for me, 3 questions outside of that, and it really directs what you're doing because you really do find, well, you have yourself, you can identify yourself, you can identify what you do. And if you can't identify either of those 2 things, it doesn't need to be a super deep question. Yourself can be just your name. Yourself can be the complex ocean that you are. It's really up to you. I'm adding my own kind of interpretation of what this guy was saying now. Second is, well, what do you do? Again, it can be, I go to work. Or it can be something specific like, I am an ER nurse who works very hard, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 4 days a week, and I have days off. And then on my off days, I'm a creative type, or I'm I'm a business type and I'm trying to start my own business with 5 days off, and it's very difficult having 5 days on or 4 days on, 5 days off for a 9-day week. Whatever. Like, it can be as simple as complex as possible. I'm obviously I'm borrowing a little bit from life, but yeah. Then who do you do it for? Well, there's kind of immediate options. Like, do you do it for yourself? When you go to work, do you work for your boss? Do you work for your employees? Do you work for yourself? Are you the guy who's like, I'm just trying to get home, I don't care about anyone else? Are you the guy who will go above and beyond? Are you the guy who's willing to sacrifice your coworkers for your boss? Are you that guy? Are you somewhere in the middle where you're like, hey, I'll stay late if I have to. I'm not happy about it, but I'll stay late. And, I'm going to show up on time. That's kind of me. But those are the first two questions, and they're all about me. So, next question is, who do I do it for? Well, I do it for my family. And my family has specific needs and wants that need to be required. So for me, my purpose is to just go to work every day. No sick days, no off days, no early, no late, just late in the morning, no late in the morning, no leaving early, just I need to work, and that's kind of it. So I have kind of the dual purposes, and then finally, what do they get out of it? Well, they get that time on the weekends with me where I get to spend time with them. They get the time to go to school. They get time to live in a house. They get all of the things that come with me working. So my work life is really a very big thing. And I can see that my purpose currently is to just get work and have money coming in. That's it. That's a very simple purpose. But then I have my creative side that also has its own purpose. So even within me, and again, this is to address Amanda's question, is quote, I would like to ask anyone is why they feel they need a purpose or why it is important to them. So to answer you, Amanda, why do I feel like I need a purpose? I don't even feel like I need to have a purpose. I'm saying that I have a purpose bestowed upon me to do the things that I have done in my family to continue to go. I mean, I would say sometimes it's like any great novel is the characters are the ones are moving the novel along, not the novel happening to them or the movie happening to them, and they're just along for the ride. Yeah, it's a cool view, but for the most part, you want to have a character make choices that alter the story so they show their development. Why does this matter? Well, because every character seems to have a purpose, an external purpose, and these are these external purposes that I have. So to answer your question is, do I feel like I need a purpose? Yes, I feel personally I need a purpose to keep going, to keep having an aim at something, to have a direction, so I'm not wandering directionless. That's kind of with Journeys, where Journeys is kind of still wandering directionless, but maybe now I'm kind of focusing more on having these topics, having these conversations, and have them bleed week to week, episode to episode, so it all becomes this like big conversation, this big talking point. And why is it important to me? Well, it's important to me not just like in a it's not important to me in the sense that it's an internal importance. It's very important to me as it's an external importance. A reason to keep going from the outside, as you will. However, bridging to my final point and what I finally want to talk about is my creative purpose. What is it that drives me to create? And I don't know, but there are times where I have to pick up the guitar. I have to pick up a paintbrush or a pencil or color something in and just give life to something. And I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know if that's what my purpose is to just give creative, artistic life to the world. And that could be a very abstract purpose, but that's kind of what I feel like it is. And I really want to be able to do that and make things and share things and make money off the things. I mean, I don't really think that has anything to do with purpose, but at least not in that sense, not in that context. Making money is the purpose to facilitate my family. However, making money off of my hobbies is just a nice bonus. And with that, I want to wrap today's episode. Guys, thank you for the questions. Keep asking questions on YouTube. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell. You guys know what it is. I'm going to keep saying it. That is my goodbye. So for April 12th, I'm Chad Jones. This is Journeys, and I will talk to you. Wait for it. Wait for the song. 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 There it is. All right. I'll talk to you on another time.